Happy Thursday, everyone. It is the West Coast POPCast, and we are talking about Sting, his final match, and we're going to say farewell to him today on the show. So get your chats ready, because we also got a whole bunch talking. We're going down under talking about Perth, mate. Is that Australian? I don't know. We're going to talk some New Japan, some big things happening in TNA, and a whole lot more, including the new Superman symbol and the Star Wars Prequels turn 25. So we ask the question, why the hell do you kids find these so good? Because they're trash. Get your comments ready. This is the West Coast POPCast, and we're starting the show right now. All right, Knock, how you doing?
It's been a good day, man. And we're doing the podcast not on an AEW Dynamite Wednesday, but a total nonstop action Thursday. And it's a great day to be popping.
Eric will be joining us in a little bit, and I think he's trying to wait until TNA is over. I think he's watching it right now on the East Coast feed. So we'll get his TNA input when he comes in. But get your chats rolling. We got a lot to talk about here. Knock and I just went to a really cool show, Prestige, here in LA. So we'll talk about that. And of course, Star Wars pop culture and wrestling.
Sir.
Knock, what do you want to start with, Knock?
Well, it's fresh in our minds. Prestige Wrestling had their show in Hollywood, the Vermont Center, I believe it's called. We're at the Vermont. Point is, I had a blast, man. Me and Zach, it was a great time. Parking was sketch, I'll tell you that. But once you got in there, man, they really know how to set the vibe and the tone. The card was very well balanced.
Yeah. It was a good card here. You can see it in front of you right there. It was a pretty TNA heavy card right here, but it was nonstop action. This thing didn't stop until the 15-minute intermission, and it just picked up from there with 3 big main events. So a lot of cool stuff from Prestige Wrestling.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. I mean, it was I'd worked this morning before me and Zach went to the show, so I was coming in a little tired. And by the time the main event happened, I had rejuvenated with energy. The show was so well balanced, man. I can't say it enough. Seeing Tiger Mask up close and personal for the first time, Black Taurus making a surprise entrance from the balcony. A lot of cool stuff there, and of course Mustafa Ali and Jordan Grace killing it.
Yeah, Mustafa Ali, Speedball Mike Bailey. You can check out highlights that Knock put together. Thank you for doing that night of Knock too. He put a lot of stuff on there with Mustafa Ali, Speedball Mike Bailey. A lot of good stuff. You can check out videos and shorts. So make sure you check out all the sections on our channel because we've got a lot of good coverage of that. Cool event. We recommend Prestige.
Definitely do, man. And you might see us there again.
Yes, pretty soon. I guess Shelton Benjamin coming. So we're excited. Prestige over GCW, that's for sure.
Yes, I completely agree, man. They know how to do a main event here. That place was electric.
GCW is like bring your own anything. It's like going to a backyard cookout with wrestling.
Oh, man. What else happened here?
Yeah, he is a finally champion.
Yeah, shout out Mr. All Power, man. What's up? Mustafa Ali, I said after 20 years. I can see Motor Machine Guns, Time Splitters as well with Kushida, so that was cool.
Yep. Yeah, very cool. Good setup too, like a club kind of situation. Good sound, good ring announcer, a lot of good shit there. Prestige Wrestling. They are going pretty much around the west half of the country. They hit up Oregon. I think they're from Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. But you can check them out in Nevada and some other places coming your way.
Yeah, and then last thing was I got to give a shout to the announcer, dude. This dude was killing it. You know, I don't really take notice of some of the announcers on the indies, but this dude was killing it. Even the Japanese entrances really well.
Yeah, he did. All right, any other notes on Prestige before we move on?
No, but check out our videos on the channel if you guys haven't been there. See it up close and personal with your boys.
Yes. All right, let's get into the Elimination Chamber. This was a very big event. It happened either ass early where you live or you were with Lionel Richie and staying up all night long with this one. I checked it out the next day. I do believe Knock did too. Let us know in the chats how you checked this out. Knock, very predictable card, but still a fun one.
Yeah, definitely very predictable. There was nothing here that I was surprised about. I was glad Indy got on the card, being Australia. I knew she wouldn't win because Asuka and Kyrie are too heavily involved in the Mania storyline, but it was very solid to see them there. Rhea looked like a main event star, absolutely killed it, man. Great to see her there. Nia, whether you love or hate Nia Jax, she's been killing it as well. But you know who the most over person was here? It's Tiffy time.
That was huge. Let me ask you this. Do you think it was just because of the moment, or do you think this is going to carry over into WrestleMania season and so forth?
So honestly, coming from NXT and getting the spotlight, and going to a place where they don't get too much wrestling live, as far as WWE wrestling,
Mhm.
good spot. If this is anybody, it might have a good pop, go away for a little bit. But she stepped in there like she was Charlotte. She stepped in there like she belonged there. Like she's already this wasn't new. I'm not new to this, and I think this is going to carry over because of. I think she might have stole the chamber match,
I
honestly.
think she did.
So because of that, I think it's going to carry.
I agree. A lot of great spots in there. Naomi had a really cool one with the cage. Bianca always shows out. Becky Lynch obviously taking it, but yeah, Tiffany Stratton knew how to work the crowd. She knew how to take her time, but knew how to just do everything she needed to do in the ring.
Exactly. So she killed it. Shout out to my boy AJ Styles taking a 10+ hour flight just to smash LA Knight with a chair. Great stuff there.
Yeah. Again, a lot of this is we're going to get into the Waller effect here in a little bit. But yeah, Tiffy on top. She did a lot of really cool stuff with Becky in there. So shout out to Becky for bringing up new talent and making them be in a moment like this. And it didn't phase her. So that's pretty good. Black Gallic, thanks for joining. Eric will appreciate those flops. And Mr. All Power, of course, Jordan Grace. That gym body up close and personal, man. It puts anything I do in the gym to shame. I'll just say that. All right. Anything else you want to talk about from the chamber?
Just a solid card, but hold on. Actually, I got to mention this to you. This card was super long for as short as matches it was. Why did they drag it out? I think someone said by the time the tag match ended and then the next chamber, it was like 55 minutes or something crazy.
I have to be honest. I only watched the women's chamber match and the main event.
Yeah. This is like what it was somewhere above 3 hours. I just gotta say that that's insane.
Oof. 3 hours. Well, I just have to say this: if they're going to do predictable pay-per-views, I guess overseas is kind of safe to do it because you don't know the crowd reactions. Again, Tiffy got the biggest pop here, and you got people going into WrestleMania who didn't get as big as Tiffany. That's pretty cool. So we'll see what they do with Backlash in France and in Berlin. See if they do play it safe again.
Yeah, well, Berlin's gonna be crazy too. Well, a lot of good stuff going on with WWE right now.
Yep. We'll get into this in a second here, but do you think the Good Brothers got demoted? And what do you think is going to happen with the OC?
The OC, I feel like they got together. I love the idea seeing all former TNA world champions together. Mia Yim being in there, I thought it was cool for her. But they just kind of seemed like, I hate to say it, but it kind of seemed like a dark order in AEW, like just a faction just there to take a loss, or Team Taz. Like they were never there to like actually dominate or win. So I'm kind of glad they might be going in different directions, but I really hope Mia Yim and AJ Styles find some like traction and gets going.
I hope so. They might be waiting for Tama Tonga to come in, and then honestly, once the Judgment Day splits, maybe they recruit Finn.
Maybe. It'd be interesting to see how they debut Tama Tonga.
Yeah. All right, flops all over. He will be here any moment. Eric will be. So those flops you will appreciate. Let's move on. This sets up the stage to the road to WrestleMania. We got 4 of the big main events set in stone. And one of these didn't get an official graphic even. But anyways, Cody Rhodes challenged in Perth, The Rock to a one-on-one. And then Seth jumped in and said, nah, I'll be there with you. So I think they're setting up a tag match, which I'm sorry, I do not want to see a tag match at WrestleMania, especially taking a main event spot.
I think on any other pay-per-view, any other day, any other build, I would love to see that tag team match. I think it'd be great to get The Rock in there since we're not too sure about his cardio. This would be a big major spot. The only thing is just bad timing right now with all the possibilities of Rock and Roman, Cody and Roman. You don't really want to see a tag match. And again, like you said, take up a main event spot. That's prime real estate for people that have earned it. Like a Bayley who won the Rumble, like Becky and Rhea who got screwed over last year after she won the Rumble for her shot. So you don't want to see that take up too much space.
I agree. And now that Seth actually legitimately has a match, do you think they just make Cody work double time and really kind of add to his story by taking out The Rock?
I think so too, because I can't imagine Seth doing anything too crazy, knowing he has a singles match and knowing he's still banged up.
Yeah. All right, let us know in the chat what you think about WrestleMania, the build-up. We got like 4 weeks to go yet before this happens, and a lot of build-up. So we'll see, and hopefully they put a match together on Friday and start building. So we'll see if The Rock answers. Sold out show, SmackDown.
In Arizona, I believe, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
You think Tonga comes and beats up Cody for Roman and joins the bloodline with the relationship with Haku?
So he has a relationship with Haku. Tonga is actually, he's not Samoan, he's Tongan. I believe there's a difference. Someone quote me on that. But he's the son of Haku. And I think Lance, I know why he said he's part of the family, like, just like kind of like a friendship, like, you bring your friends into the family. So you could see that with the bloodline. But I don't think he really has a connection. I think he goes to NXT first. I don't think we need to see someone else jump in. You might see, anyone's jump in, it's going to be Jacob Fatu, I think. That's the next person to do it.
Funny. I'd really like to see that, but he's got a match coming up in, not MLW, but in another thing on the road to WrestleMania, so I don't know if he's going to be coming or not.
I agree, but once I seen the Hardys wrestle the Bucks the night before WrestleMania returned, I think
that's right. That is right.
We'll see how it plays out. Everyone's rooting for Jacob Fatu to get in there, and he was included in that bloodline graphic. The biggest connection Tama has, I think, to that storyline is actually with Cody, considering they're both in the Bullet Club. And when the Elite started kind of separating themselves, if you remember, Tama Tonga led the faction that split when they had like their big civil wars called the Firing Squad of the Bullet Club, and they all beat up Cody, the Bucks, and Kenny Omega. So that's kind of the connection. If Tama beats up Cody, he has a past history of doing it.
Okay. All right. Anything else on WrestleMania that you want to talk about? The matches set or anything that you think is going to happen in the next couple weeks?
Let's start really kicking up for Bayley and Io. I think we need to get a little more spotlight on there and really build up that story. I feel like we're not getting too much shine on them, and they both deserve it and have earned it. And I think they're going to have a great match. Io, this main spotlight is going to kill it, and Bayley's well deserved.
I agree. The one thing I'm scared of, there are now 3 nights of WrestleMania. SmackDown, the Friday before, is, in my opinion, what their opinion of a kickoff show for WrestleMania is now, since they don't really do the kickoff show, so they can let people kind of get in and filter in. I do believe they consider SmackDown the 3rd night and the kickoff of WrestleMania. So I do believe you're going to get stuff like the Kabuki Warriors on there. And man, Bobby Lashley could get put on the 3rd night of WrestleMania and not on the main 2 nights for a 2nd year in a row. That's my fear of how they have it set up right now.
Kind of ridiculous. And I believe the last time he was featured on Mania, that's when he tapped out McIntyre for WWE Championship. I think, going back, I think that was the last time. So let's not have him miss Mania again. He's too big of a deal. And why are we holding back the Street Profits, teams like that? I don't understand that as well.
Yeah, I agree. Bayley and McIntyre both won championships during the pandemic, and now will get their moment with fans. I hope so. Just if you're Drew McIntyre, you got to send your Money in the Bank in the wings there.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that belt, that Money in the Bank briefcase this year. I don't think they really have a plan for him to cash in.
No, I'm pretty clueless on it. I think they're going to do it at Mania. I think there's a plan for it, but I don't know.
I just feel like if he does it at Mania, it's going to get overshadowed. Everyone's going to compare it to when what's it called did it, when Seth did it, and then it's not going to be the same.
Yeah. All right, ready or not, how you doing? Thank you for letting me know to watch Nickelodeon Super Bowl. I had a damn blast. Hope you and your kids did too. Just for this week, a new night for this week, and it's the 2 of us until the 3rd man comes in. I don't need to go back, but I have to, just because he needs to see flops. You cannot deny that this man is integral into wrestling, into YouTube, and of course, integral into making the West Coast POPCast what it is. He is the Infinity Champ. He is the overlord of us all, if you will. Eric, welcome to the show.
That might be the first time Zach introduced me coming in late, and that was terrific. Thank you for that. That was amazing.
I wish I could have done you more justice.
Hey, you know what? Thank you to everyone for all the flops. Let me start off this by saying, like Cody, like Jay, I've had a few libations, so I will try to I'll try not to derail this show too much. How you guys doing?
We're all right, man.
Make it wet.
Pause.
You already know. I keep it wet like the flops.
Eric, any thoughts before we move on here? We're just talking about Perth. We're talking about the setup for WrestleMania and the possibility of a tag match.
Props to WWE. I think they made sure Perth Elimination Chamber was a fun show for everyone there. They leaned into the Aussie culture, so props to them.
Yeah. All right. We got some more slides to do here, so let's get into it. Knock, you got a slide here. You want to talk about Monday Night Raw from 2019, apparently?
Yeah, so let's put this one together because last week we had a bunch of new champions. It was great to see. Some were great to see. Well, I'll start with the one I'm not too sure about, but Matt Riddle defeated the president of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, for the NJPW TV championship. Obviously he can go. And in the same week he won his belt, he admitted to being high on cocaine every night of Raw, getting caught several times. This man is letting it all spill. You can't believe this. Can't be a good sign for someone a company from Japan that's more conservative. It's insane that he's a champion there.
I mean, hey, if the guy can go, let him do that snow, right?
Oh, that is a shirt TK wants to print now.
Oh man,
it is crazy. He's on the title run right now. Just beat Austin Aries, beat Tanahashi.
He fought Aries. I forgot about that.
That was his first title win. His first match back. He won I forgot what the promotion's called, but he's a champion there now.
Wow. Yeah, I forgot they were still wrestling.
Yeah.
But besides that, of course, the one we saw, the one that matters, the big one, Eric, Mustafa Ali, after 20 years, is finally a champion. And the company that did it, that crowned him, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, the X Division champion, adds himself to the lineage.
You know what? I'm going to let you finish this recap because I actually do have an announcement about TNA.
Oh. Yes, sir. Yeah, so he beat Chris Sabin. Me and Zach seen him. You can check it on the channel right now. The first entrance to see the X Division champion is on our channel. And then, of course, going back to NWA, I put on the King Bees, Charity King and Danny B, defeating Pretty Empowered, Ella Envy, and Kylie Page for the NWA Women's Tag Team Champions. Good to see there. More championship shakeups going on in NWA. And then Nick Nemeth grabbed the IWGP Global Championship in his debut over David Finlay. Another solid match. Good to see him there. I think he'll carry it till Wrestle Kingdom.
I kind of miss the days when we made fun of it a lot. Like, what's Dolph Ziggler doing in the Impact Zone? But I miss when wrestlers would just like have a fake name, not just go with their real name after they leave WWE.
Yeah.
Oh man, but good for him. I guess he's out there doing. I honestly thought he was going to do stand up after he got released. I didn't think he'd keep on wrestling. I
think he still has a passion for it. He has something to prove.
Yeah, and that does look like the IC belt. Yes. I asked Knock this weekend. We're done with Prestige. You got a TNA guy who just ripped off the shirt, said he bleeds TNA. TNA had a pay-per-view that night. Why did he go to another company and go after their title?
Yeah. That's a great point, actually.
You know, was there more to this recap now? Because I have a response to that, but
you do? I think that's it. That's a new champion today. You got it, bro.
Okay. Well, let me say this. We've stopped keeping track of how many episodes we were on. Who knows? There's been so many. But Knock, it feels like you and I have not been on the same page for so long. You're TNA, I'm anti-TNA. I miss the days of KOF. Remember that, man? We were on the same side.
I do. I don't know if the guys nowadays know about that, actually.
So here's the thing, Knock. You and I, it's official. You can call me Mr. TNA. I'm a TNA man right now.
Yes, sir.
I'm Mr. TNA. You know why? Because I see the light. I see what TNA management is doing. Give Scott the more. Talent's being ungrateful. Make them stay there. Extend their contract. I'm digging it. I'm here for this new TNA regime because here's the thing: TNA will never be good. We have to accept that. But together with this new TNA management, we can make TNA okay. And I am here for it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now Mr. TNA. Together, Mr. All Power, Cold Money, ready or not, everyone in the chat, we can make TNA okay. So we're on the same team now. We're back.
This is insane, man. Wow, what's up, Nubico? Jumping in the chat. Please help me out here. Eric's gone rogue. He says he's a fan of TNA now.
Same
Make
team.
TNA okay.
Hashtag make it okay.
It's always been management that's been getting in the way of TNA being bigger. It's crazy that that's happened.
I think you're gonna see. Give it a week. We're gonna be talking about all the greatness all the okayness that's happening in TNA.
That is a heck of a rebuttal. I'll give you that.
Mr. TNA, what a title!
Exactly.
Hey, that's a title that belongs to the phenomenal one himself.
Well, he doesn't work there anymore, so the moniker now belongs to Eric. We saw some people taking your final boss moniker.
Yeah, well, a few.
It's he saw that after me.
They're trying to spite me, man. Samoa Joe, don't let me catch you in the streets.
We traded. No more AJ Styles. We got AJ Francis. TNA is gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Oh man.
Knock or Mr. TNA, anything you want to say about this slide here? A guy who clearly takes bumps. Anyone?
You're talking about sorry, someone blowing up my Steam right now. The Matt Riddle slide.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got the double entendre there. That's a good one. I wish it best of luck. I didn't. Maybe I'll go back and watch this match. I didn't. I feel like I should keep up with him while he's on this run.
I think because so many people left the company, there's a lot of room for these guys to come in and slide in at a perfect time to get some belts. But they need someone else that can carry the torch in a good way. You know, Matt Riddle's he's just too controversial, man.
All right. I'm excited to see what Mr. TNA has every week now for TNA Wrestling.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, where's Datilla? We're on the same team now, Datilla. Together, TNA's gonna be okay. We can be friends now. Is it good? No, it'll be okay.
All right, let's move on to the next one. NXT Raw. I got a whole bunch of stuff happening here. Knock, what are your takeaways?
Okay, so this was very solid stuff. First of all, Raw, good to see Xavier Woods wrestling and New Day reminding everyone that they are a very talented tag team. Had a great match. Drew McIntyre continues to take shots at CM Punk. Comes out and says, I won the Elimination Chamber, and the doctor pulled me to the side and said, you're hurt, man. We don't think you can go to Mania. He says, do you think I'm CM Punk? I'm going all the way. It's crazy. CM Punk's now become the butt of a lot of jokes. But this is McIntyre's moment. He's been killing it. Yeah. And for everyone out there, I'm just going to say it. We put the Hater of the Year award out first, all right? That was us, okay? If you want to check out the hater, check out the Poppies. You want the real Hater of the Year awards.
Hate.
And then, again, for NXT, Carmelo Hayes killing it. Eric, I don't know if you've seen it, but you like this. So he gets in the ring for his contract signing with Dragunov, and Tony D's there. Carmelo, obviously being scared heel, has security with him. You know, they go on. The segment continues. Towards the end of the segment, Tony D says, it doesn't matter if you think you're him or you're the champion. There's only one Don. He snaps his fingers, and Carmelo Hayes' security walks out of the ring and goes to the back because he paid him off.
I love that. That is very clever. I enjoy that.
I thought it was great. Willie Regal's son, Charlie Dempsey, won the NXT North, the NXT Heritage Cup trophy championship. I don't know how they're doing that, but he's a champion. And then we got the chairman, Sean Spears. We're seeing so many AEW people come back over with their character, whether in AEW to begin with or they were WWE. Now we're seeing Sean Spears. What do you think about that kind of crossover and WWE utilizing the whole AEW monikers?
I like it because Ty Dillinger is not good. So take Sean Spears and let him be the gatekeeper of NXT.
Yes.
I think that's what he's going to be.
Yeah, it works. And also, I'm excited to see the WWE video of him and Cody back together.
Cody better stay away.
Yeah.
I'm excited for him. I that was out of nowhere, so I give him credit. That was a huge surprise for me. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it'll give him time to keep doing his school with I forgot his name, Pretty Boy.
Breeze.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think so. I think this also confirms Peyton Royce and Billy Kay might be headed back there once they're done with their pregnancies.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them. That would be good. They should never been released.
Nope.
But damn, Vince is too horny.
Something else,
That's
man.
right. Flop it up in the chats. Let me get the flops. We haven't had a lot of flops the past few weeks, so thank you, Black Gallon.
Yeah, I thought it was Tamatanga, so I'm with you there, Mr. All Power. If you haven't checked out the New Day match with Imperium, this was like, it wasn't the biggest, baddest street fight ever, but this was like a perfect street fight for television, and it was paced so well. I love that the New Day came out with a joke, with the knee pads over the jeans, like a very 90s thing. But they fucking delivered with Imperium. It was a great match. If you get a chance to check out the match, I think that was my match of the week easily.
Yeah, I think it was too. I also put up Sammy Guevara doing that Swanton bomb off the ladder. I thought it was a solid match seeing him against Powerhouse Hobbs.
I'm actually glad that New Day. Sorry, that isn't the question. Swanton bomb. Sorry not to jump back to New Day, but earlier this week I was just thinking like, man, I missed when the New Day was like top of the card. So I'm glad to say they're still doing something impressive.
I feel like they're waiting for Big E to come back. I feel like they're ready. That's why they introduced him, during Rumble stuff and during the press conference for WrestleMania, so you don't really forget about him. And then they'll probably hold off. I feel like they're waiting for him to come back for either the Monday after Raw or something, because I don't know. That's just me. It's just a guess, because I don't see the New Day being on Mania so far.
Right. And actually, something else completely. I feel like New Day would also be a fan of flopping. Flop with me, children. As Tsunami said, flop with me, children. Flop bombs in the chat right now. Stay wet, my friend.
Look at that, Eric. The minute you come in, the chat just blows up. Knock. You know what? You know how lame we are, Knock.
You telling me?
You know what I feel like, Knock.
What do you feel like, man?
I feel like the new Dynamite logo.
Uh-oh.
I feel like I should be singing, "Oh, Canada."
What do you guys think of this? In the chat, what do you think of this?
What's crazy? I actually still really miss the original Dynamite visual, like the actual colorful booms and the logo and all that stuff. I really liked it. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to know who's designing these, because someone's been doing like their match posters and they've been really good, but these logos just feel uninspired.
Yeah,
they put it up next to the Rampage one, and it just looks like off-brand because you have the old AEW logo, not even just the white one with Rampage, and then you have this one, which is like a third iteration. I put the 2.0 because it's funny, but this looks like there's like a dinosaur fighting game for Super Nintendo that came out. That's what this logo reminds me of.
I mean, we've proven that no matter how bad the feedback is, you're always going to have a job in certain industries. I mean, Madam Web or Morbius, whatever that.
Hey, you got to piss off the Madam Web fans, man. There's a lot of people out there that love their writers.
Apparently.
Yeah. All right, so we're not liking this. Is it unanimous?
No, it's not good. TK's got more money. He could find someone better.
Right, it's called Adobe. All right, let's get into something that is classic all time, no matter what iteration it is. It's Sting. We put the poll out this week. Which version of Sting is best? Is it the Surfer Sting from WCW, the Crow Sting? Don't get me started on that trailer last night. WCW NWO one. Is it Knox's favorite, the Joker Sting from TNA, or is it Hooligan Sting, the AEW one with Darby Allin? Let's go to you first, Knock.
Come on now, bro. It is the total nonstop action version of Sting. We got Joker Sting in TNA. We got original Sting in TNA. He was having fun. He was having the time of his life. He was supposed to retire in 2009. I want to put this out there. In 2009, he was supposed to retire at AJ Styles at Bound for Glory. He had a great storyline. And then Dixie was like, can we get one more year? It's like, why not? Dixie's like, we just need another year from you. Why not? Next thing you know, he was there for like 5 more years before he left. Sting, he had the most fun at TNA. I don't care what you say about AEW.
Okay. Eric, who's your favorite Sting?
Here's the thing. Again, I hesitate to say this because we just got back on the same page. But TNA today, they wouldn't let fun happen. I'd see them writing on the wall. They're not here to have these grown men are here to work. I'm not here for fun. You want fun? Go work somewhere else. All right? Go get a real job. We're here to work. So Joker's thing, besides being a ripoff, no. I want the hooligan. I want that dastardly villainous thug with Darby.
It's a hooligan holiday. I personally love the Crow Sting. You liked it last night. I liked it too. He came down from the rafters. You got to watch with your kids. Ready or not, here's a quick story. The first time I got to a WCW show, it was the one where the fake Sting, like not a real person, but like the dummy, lowered, and then they just let it go and they fell. Let me just say, everyone freaked the fuck out in the stadium. Dark. Like it was nuts. So if you can go watch that, check it out. But WCW Sting Crow, most iconic, clearly 74% of the votes there. The poll's still up on there if you want to check it out. Sting, I think, had the Surfer Sting had probably the best matches because you got Ric Flair, you got Dusty, you got all these other people. But let us know your favorite one. And AEW Sting is your favorite theme song. Great theme song. Crow was badass. That was the best. 74% agree with you, Cole.
I ruined AEW Sting theme song now because after doing that Guitar Hero video, all I hear is Nirvana. I think of Nirvana whenever I think of AEW Sting.
Yeah. Well, it is Sting's last match. We are celebrating Sting, so leave comments and let us know your favorite Sting moment or your favorite Sting. I had to be reminded that Main Event Mafia Sting even existed. I'm sorry, Knock, but that.
Whoa, yeah, exactly, bro. He was the Don, and Kurt Angle kept trying to take it from him, but he was the guy. He was the world champion Main Event Mafia. Also, I want to point out this whole dropping from the rafters thing. That was cool and all, and I'm glad they paid tribute to TNA Sting when he came from the rafters in 2007 and his TNA Slammiversary match. That was really cool to see them pay tribute to that TNA Sting. Nothing more iconic than Sting coming down from the rafters in TNA.
I can't.
You know what?
And if you want to check it out, the TNA social media group already put the video out.
They put out a 6-hour video that TNA put out of Sting stuff.
We got all the Sting material, man.
They put up more Sting stuff than AEW. Tony Khan's like trying to find this random New Japan stuff. I think he found like a video underneath the couch cushion. Yeah. He's trying to serve. TNA put out it might even be 12 hours. I can't remember. It's a ridiculous amount that he's put out.
Could have just called TNA up, man. I want to put this out too. Some equipment is wrong, but I'm pretty sure Sting spent the most time in TNA more than AEW and WCW. But I mean, who's counting?
No, I've had some crappy jobs. I stuck around too long into. All right, we have a big thing going on right now. Of course, this weekend celebrating Sting. Let's get to this right here. The pay-per-view is this Sunday. We're going to do our Revolution prediction. So get your predictions ready in the chat. It is going to happen all week. So get your chats in there. Get your comments. If you're not watching live, we will respond. And don't worry, I already read the Collision and Rampage spoilers. So I know it's coming up for Revolution. Are you guys ready to give your predictions for Revolution, Sting's last match?
Let's do it, man. The last dance of the icon, man. It's going to be at a pretty big-ass freaking packed stadium.
Yeah. Also, right before we do that, just so we don't break the streak, it's Zack!
Love it. Oh yeah. Yeah, TNA Sting. There you go, Knock. A lot of different versions of Sting, but I got to give it to Tony Khan. No matter what, no matter what version of Sting is your favorite, I got to give it to Tony Khan here. What a way to let Sting go out. What a great run he's had. He had some missteps here and there with him because of injuries or other talent having issues, especially Ric Flair saying stuff he shouldn't have said during interviews. But all in all, I think Sting in AEW is one of my favorite things in AEW, and he's getting a proper send off this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely fixed his WWE run. I'm so glad that was not the end of his career.
I am too. This is how you do a retirement match, man.
Yeah.
Right. All right, let's get into the card right here. We'll get to Sting last. Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. Man, the personalities are just oozing machismo in this match. Knock, who do you have in this one?
Oh, this is Roderick Strong easily. I'll admit, Orange Cassidy again, like his first title reign, he's grown on me as champion. It's not like I don't like him. I'm just tired of seeing him as champion. This is Roderick Strong's time, and maybe we get a return from Kyle O'Reilly here. Maybe Adam Cole is finally healed up. We got to see something big happen here. So I'm excited to see Roderick Strong break the back of the Orange.
All right, Eric, who do you got?
I am going with Roddy. I want Roddy to win. I want him to prove to us that he's not just the fourth member of a great faction. He's not just the background. I want him to get everyone's respect. And you know what you get when you have respect, Zach?
What do you
You
get?
get hustle. You get loyalty.
All right, Daddy. Let's move on to the next match. I agree. Roderick Strong needs to win, Daddy, because he had the worst storyline from WON of the year. He needs to bounce back with it. I agree 100%. Mr. TNA, Daddy. Let's move on to this one. The worst thing I've seen on television in a long time. I have watched static. I have watched a blank screen. But last night, Eddie Kingston proved both of those things to be glorious, monumental moments in television history. Eddie Kingston, the guy who goes like this against his opponent, is fighting Bryan Danielson on his way out. This is his last year wrestling full time. Who do you guys have, Eric?
I physically can't say it. I actually physically can't say it. It's Bryan Danielson. Like, there's no reality. There is no world where Eddie Kingston should be able to pin Bryan Danielson, one of the greatest of his generation. That said, like you just said, it is his final year. I don't think he's concerned with being a champion right now. So I physically can't say it, but I'm not picking Bryan Danielson, and I hate that.
Knock, is it your boy or is it Mr. Bella?
Whose boy? Listen, I'm going with the Dragon himself. This is criminal. Like, listen, you guys know I like Eddie Kingston. He's a New Yorker, man, proud and strong. Shout out to the Bronx Bombers. But he already beat Danielson once. I don't need to see it again. Why would you have Danielson in your company this long and not make him champion at least once? Let him win the Triple Crown Championship.
Sure.
Let him have and let's be real here. Eddie Kingston's not putting on better matches than Bryan. Let's be honest here. He can go on such a crazy run with these belts. Let's do the right thing here.
I think Eddie's going to keep it. I think something's going to happen, but I can't. I cannot. I can't watch Eddie Kingston and take him seriously. Sadly, it'll be Eddie Kingston. I'm with you right here.
Yeah.
Seriously, watch the match last night. He ruined a perfectly fine 6-man. He was gassed. He wasn't selling worth a damn. And he just kept doing his hits, his slaps. It was so tough to watch. I can't believe how many people are behind Eddie Kingston just because certain things that he says on Twitter to get sympathy. I can't get with him. I'm sorry, he ruined Dynamite for me last night. I was having a good time actually watching Dynamite, and he just ruined it for me.
That's step number 5 in our Make TNA Okay Again plan. No Eddie Kingston.
Eddie's not the real deal. He is not Cole Money. Triple. Triple Crown he is? He stole 3 paper crowns from Burger King.
Sorry. That's a good one.
I'm a genius. All right. Eric, how wet can you get? Do you want to answer that, or should we move on?
I'm dripping in the desert, Mr. All Power.
All right, he needs to get to the weight room. He needs so much. He needs to go to the performance center. That's my thing with him. He totally does. All right, this started as meat madness. 3 men getting brought together with some mystery meat that now no longer can perform. On the conference call today, TK said it was supposed to be Miro and Keith Lee involved in this. Neither one of them were cleared to compete. So then we got this. An all-star 8-man scramble so Jericho can get on the card now that he's back from his Fozzy tour. And yeah. I hope you don't mind spoilers. I got the spoilers, and I made a pick myself with the winners. So let's get your pick for the all-star 8-man scramble. The winner gets a title shot at the main title in AEW. It is Dante Martin and Magnus who win their matches this weekend. So Knock. Who do you got in this one?
Really? The CML guy won? He beat
Yep.
Claudio? Or who did he face?
No. He fought Matt Seidel.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That makes sense. No offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know too much about this Madness guy, but I'm curious to see what happens. I can't watch Jericho no more, man. I've been like the last holdout, I think, for this group up for us three, saying, Chris Jericho still got it. He's still doing something. I don't know why Lance Archer's even on this card. He just shows up, takes a pin, and goes back to New Japan. Give it to Powerhouse Hobbs, man. I think this could be a nice coming out party for him. And he's earned it. He had a big win over Sammy Guevara, crazy tables match. I want to see it happen.
All right. Eric, what do you got?
Just real quick, Jericho is doing something. He is 100% supporting storms on capitals and Trump level presidency runs. So he's still got it. He's still doing something. Don't you worry about that. It's gonna be someone who's not gonna win. So I guess I could see Lance Archer winning this just to lose against Samoa Joe. I'm gonna, Powerhouse Hobbs versus Samoa Joe would be a TNT rematch. Yeah, this doesn't really matter. I guess I'm just gonna pick random. Eeny, meeny, Powerhouse Hobbs.
All right. The Meat Madness match will happen once Miro and Keith Lee are better. So I hope Keith Lee is better. He always has something going on. So I hope he figures out what's going on inside of him.
Yeah. That's some scary stuff, man.
Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs versus Mojo. I just feel like Wardlow is going to be he's too big of a story. I don't know if he's too big of a story, but he's like a story to like, I don't know. I don't think it's too soon for Wardlow because he's got an actual story built up for the title. And like you guys said, whoever wins this is getting fed to the winner, probably Samoa Joe. So I'm going to go with Powerhouse Hobbs as well.
Yeah. Hook already got fed, so I don't think it would be him again.
So. That's true. I think Brian Cage is happy. I think he's getting a good paycheck.
Yeah. I'm gonna call it now too. I think Joe loses the belt at Double or Nothing. I think he has one nice pay-per-view win and then drops the belt.
I can see that.
That's fair.
Wardlow posing in front of the Titantron. Yeah, that was a good promo last week. I dig that. All right, let's get on to the next one. Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Knock. Who do you have in this one? This might be match of the night.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably match of the night, possibly match of the year if they get the proper time. I would love to see them get a proper storyline with this match because this is really good stuff. It's going to be Ospreay. Ospreay is currently undefeated on AW television, not television, but pay-per-view, beating who did he beat first? Orange Cassidy, then Kenny, then Jericho. So he has a great run going on here. I think he gets to win again and maybe causes some more friction with the Don Callis family, who I think has lost their direction. Still going after Jericho. He's been spent 8 months go after one guy. And that's one issue with TK booking. He puts these groups together to go after one person, and then there's no other direction afterwards. He needs to get past that first level with some of these factions.
He does. Yeah. I think this is going to be Will Ospreay turning face and turning on the Callis family, so he can be one of the big faces along with Mercedes Moné with the new regime of AEW. Eric, what do you got?
Ospreay. Just because of TK is smart, he will book Ospreay to be like, if not the next champion, the one after. Like he has to put this guy in the forefront.
Did you happen to see Ospreay at his last independent match against Michael Oku in Britain and England?
No,
I did not. No.
So he's great match, by the way. But TK's in the stands going nuts, man. He's like fanboying for Ospreay like crazy. So I'll be surprised if Ospreay doesn't win the world title by the end of the year.
Yeah, he has to. Okay. That's just too good.
He is. All right, next match, Christian Cage. If you're doing the daddy gimmick and you're really going in on it, you didn't do anything with the Sting promo. I get it kayfabe wise, but I'm just saying if you're going to be doing the daddy issue. Anyways, he's facing Daniel Garcia. I think that
might be too close, too soon.
Just saying. Daniel Garcia, I'm going to say it right now. I think Daniel Garcia takes the belt off here with attorney Adam Copeland, and those two have their final feud so they can start their final tag team run in AEW in the future. But Daniel Garcia for me.
Same. I think you missed the trigger, and I hate that they're talking about it now. They've been talking about like Danielson said, "Oh, I would love to have Daniel Garcia in BCC, but right now we're still good. But if we could add one person, it'd be him." Garcia said he'd love to join the group. You could have pulled the trigger on this. What was it, a year or two ago now? When it was perfect. So don't drop the ball on Garcia again and have him lose his title. Have him get this belt, win it over a guy like Christian Cage, and put him on that next level. It's well overdue.
I agree. Let's talk to the daddy of the sea, the flop master. Eric, who do you have in this match?
I love that. The daddy of the sea.
The daddy of the sea.
I'm going with Christian retaining. Just like the last one, this is more hope because I enjoy seeing the clips and seeing the quotes of just Christian being Christian. So I'm enjoying it. I haven't been watching as regularly as you guys, but I still am not so on Dale Garcia after the whole Jericho stuff. So that kind of made me respect them.
Gotcha. Is Edge really injured? I do not know. I am totally clueless on Edge.
I don't know because it's kind of weird he's not on the card, but I think it's fine. I mean, he got the concerto from Christian Cage, but I think he's okay.
All right, I think he's coming back. It's just my call. All right, next match: FTR versus
Lung capacity.
And Claudio Castagnoli. Knock, who you got in this tag team match?
I'm gonna go with John Moxley and the BCC, Claudio Castagnoli. I think FTR can take the loss. They'll be all right. It's gonna be a great match. They had a good time limit draw on Dynamite. It's again though, we got to figure out the next steps in our building towards matches on pay-per-view. Can't keep doing they have a great match on television and we'll book it a week later for the pay-per-view. We got to switch it up a little bit every now and then, but still, as long as it's not about how you get there, as long as we get there, and this match is gonna be amazing. But I'm going Moxley and Castagnoli.
All right, Eric.
I want to pick a team, but I don't see the full name of one of the tag teams because I want to say 7-star FTR. Of course, you know they're gonna win. They're the best tag team in the universe, in the world. Do I agree? Do I like them personally? No, but I will pick them kayfabe.
I'm gonna go with you, and I honestly think a loss to Eddie Cluxton and a loss to FTR here. We're gonna see hopefully the Blackpool Combat Club kind of dissolve. I want to see them become bigger stars on their own here. I don't think the club's really working out, so I think FTR starts that build back up.
Great.
But I don't get the whole point, especially after Regal left. I never got the point of the group. They're just there, and they just kind of do their faces, their heels. I don't know.
Exactly. And if your fighters, get Serena Deeb in there.
Yeah. She'd be good in there.
All right, quick time out here. Anyone watching ROH? Do watch Athena and Nyla Rose from last week's ROH. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, Athena and Nyla Rose been killing it. Billy Starks in the women's TV tournament. That's really it. I kind of see clips. I don't have Honor Club, so I just see the clips they post.
Yeah. All right, next matchup here before we get into it. The women. Timeless Toni Storm taking on Deonna Purrazzo. You got options here. You got people that need to return. You need to build up the whole division just a little bit more because a week and a half from this Sunday is big business. But this match is very important leading up to that. Eric, who do you got in this one?
I'm going to say keep it on Tony just because you got big business coming. You don't want to start a new title reign when you got a huge star like that coming in.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And I've been saying this for weeks. I'm not the first one to say it. So anyone out there going to claim otherwise, report to West Coast Pop in the final boss. Britt Baker returns. She will cost her best friend Deonna Purrazzo the title. Keep Deonna protected. Toni Storm retains. And, they've been building up this friendship thing between Deonna and Toni. But we all know Deonna and Britt were best friends. So we never talked about it. I feel like Britt might be getting a little jealous, steaming. She's been hitting the gym too. So I think Britt comes back, takes out her friend.
Okay.
I agree 100%. That's a good take.
Is this the only women's match in this new era of AEW?
This is the new era that has that Dynamite new logo, and the Dynamite new set will actually start the next Wednesday. So next week is like the new era of AEW.
Okay.
So maybe we'll get more. He's on a roll. TK was on a little bit of a roll. 2-3 matches on a card.
Hey, I mean, WWE's been doing that for how long?
Hey, NXT is like usually between 50 and 70% women.
True. That's true.
All right. I accidentally put that on Mr. All-Power before reading it. You got me on that one. All right.
Mr. All Power. You know,
All right.
Mr. All Power, you and me, we don't use liquid cooling in our PCs. Say it with me, only fans.
God. You know your loser boyfriend created that OnlyFans account for his piece of crap movie, Ricky Stenicki?
Oh, I saw it. You know what? The money is raining, my friend.
Oh my God. That thing's going to lose so much money. Poor Zac Efron. You come from Iron Claw, only be put in the camel toe clutch from this asshole. All right, let's get into this. The World Title Championship match. Samoa Joe defends against the hottest, I'll say it, probably one of the hottest people in wrestling right now, Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. Eric, who do you got?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying Hangman was the hottest person in wrestling. Different wavelengths. Great match. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be Joe. Give it to Joe. I think I'm more excited to see the aftermath of it. I want to see what Swerve and Hangman do after.
Knock, what do you say?
I'm going with Joe. The reason Swerve and Hangman triple threat is to cause some controversy, keep everyone safe. But Joe is going to win for sure. I think he won his last triple threat when it was a TNT championship, if I'm wrong, with Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs. And then this is the only second time that World Title has been put on the line in a triple threat match. Last time was Double or Nothing, like 2021 with Kenny, Pac, and Orange Cassidy. But TNA's Samoa Joe will get the victory.
I got to agree. I think Swerve Strickland gets it the next pay-per-view. They'll do some kind of a blow-off feud, probably big business between Hangman and Swerve. And then you'll see Swerve take the title. I think Swerve is next in line. The stars are aligning for Swerve. And let me just hit this up right away. Is there supposed to be a TBS title match? No, there is some kind of underlying thing with Julia Hart, so they're waiting for her to get fully cleared. So that's why she was just on Dynamite last night without starting a feud.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I mean, she's out by the ring, so it can't be too bad physically. Yeah. So hopefully she gets better soon and she can start defending that because they haven't stripped her of the title.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. The goodbye, the farewell, the tornado tag match, the dastardly AEW EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, taking on Darby Allin and Sting. I prefer a more monotone Michael Buffer version myself, but not. Who do you got in this one?
I got. It's tough because this is Sting's pick. I think going out. I mean, you got to do the job, right? Pass the torch to the Young Bucks. The way the Young Bucks have been playing it, though, they've been really dastardly, if you will. So it's gonna be tough to see that, but I think Sting takes the pin. Maybe we'll see a Michaels Flair type of thing going on with the super kick, but it should be a great match, man.
Eric, what do you think?
So we've talked about how we all thought Sting was going to do the job, but the more I see Darby talk about it and I see the Young Bucks talk about it, I think it's going to be just like when they won the tag championship. Sting didn't want to win the tag titles. Everybody else said you deserve it. I think everybody but Sting is going to want him to win. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think the Bucks are going to lose. And Darby and Sting drop the titles as Sting retires.
Oh. Huh.
If they do win, I mean, can Darby find another partner to defend the belts with? Or can they put on a tag tournament match?
I said they drop it and do a tournament. I don't think Darby's going to want to just be like, okay, you're gone. I'm keeping these titles. I can see him being like, this title reign was with you, and now we're dropping it, and now we have a tournament or something to give it to somebody else.
I can see that. So they advertised last night as Sting's final Dynamite, and then they kind of flipped the script a little bit as cameras started rolling. Sting's last Dynamite as an active wrestler. Eric, you could be onto something right there, and they could take out Darby after the win. And Eric, that's a good idea, and I think that's you have him back on Dynamite with the new set and everything to introduce the new era of AEW, and then you start the tournament. That's a good one.
Yeah. I think he's going to be the only one who doesn't want to win, but everyone's like, you deserve to go out with a win as champion.
Yeah. Yeah, something different. Sting if he does win. Darby going to call Mike Everson, be off. That's right. He is doing that. That is true. That's like a month away. So it's a
Yeah.
good way to write him off. Sting becoming GM. I'm not a big fan of GMs. Like I
Nah.
like how Nick Aldis is doing, but I'm still not a fan.
I like GMs, but not Sting.
Yeah. All right. Any other predictions or anything else going to happen on Revolution, you guys, or you think it's going to be a straightforward pay-per-view?
I think all the surprises are. I mean, I think they're kind of done. Actually, I lied. There's one surprise that's going to happen. We're going to
What's
get. It's going to rain in Greensboro. The Rainmaker will be there.
Okay, only problem is I imagine Darby and Sting get the main event. I don't know if you want to have Okada do the TK entrance.
They've done that before when they had Christian Cage debut, Swerve debuted on Revolution. They just brought him out.
Yeah,
They've
that's
done
true.
it before.
I guess middle of the show. I don't know. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah. Or you could start a feud with someone in the 8-man.
That's yeah.
Right, but those are predictions. Oh, that'd be cool. You could take out Jericho.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain.
All right.
Yeah, Jericho needs to go away for a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Save Okada to debut with Mercedes. I mean, that would be a big business move.
It'd have to be start of the show, end of the show debuts.
Yeah. All right, that is our Revolution predictions right there. I was going to do promo. We're not doing promos. We're not doing promo school, but that is it. Thank you, Sting. The Icon will have his final match in AEW at Revolution this Sunday. If you are not watching live, obviously leave your comments in the comment section on your picks and any surprises you think are going to happen during that. But that is it. AEW Revolution and a farewell to Sting this Sunday.
You know, I almost wish that he could have retired in TNA because and I think we agree on this, Knock. I mean this year in TNA, because with this new management, Sting's retirement would have been okay.
Okay.
Man.
Let me bring something up here. As an older person, someone who grew up with the original Star Wars trilogy, who saw the glory of the sci-fi extravaganza change the way movies are made, fell in love with great characters, classic characters, practical and awesome special effects, and then got to witness 25 years ago in 1999 a movie called The Phantom Menace and fell asleep twice during it. Then he got to see episode 2 and episode 3 and fell asleep during both of those. And I have found, even after multiple viewings, that the Star Wars prequels are trash. That is me and my generation, kind of what our consensus is on the Star Wars prequels. But younger people like yourselves, these were the movies they were introduced to. The Clone Wars was their introduction to Star Wars. They love these movies. There's different reasons. Eric, you put a different reason in the chat that we'll get into that I actually think makes a whole lot of sense as to why these are better movies for you. But I just want to know why. Why does the younger generation love the Star Wars prequels when a generation of old fogies like myself hate them so much? What's the discourse, and what are your stances on the Star Wars prequels as they turn 25 years old?
You can go first.
Okay, so for me, honestly, I think the prequels is my introduction to Star Wars. Like I vividly remember being on the school bus and like all the kids, that went to go see the movie were just talking about it. Like it was such a good time. Like, oh, this happened. That he fought about the freaking volcano. We're going crazy. Like with all this crazy stuff that was going on. And then you had the battles. I remember seeing some of the races they had with the freaking. I can't even say it. I can't even think of it.
Pod racers.
Yeah, the pod races.
Now this pod racing.
Like I was hooked. And then I think I went on to see like the originals later on, at some point. So it's kind of blurry what I seen first. But around that time, also we had the games. We had eventually the cartoons. So I think it was just a fond memory of like I incorporated it all in one. Especially when Clone Wars came out, you follow Anakin and Han Solo and all them. So I think that's why it's cool for me. When I seen it older, I was like, yo, this is actually kind of trash. The writing's actually really bad. but I was just so invested in the world and the lore, and it was kind of the visuals. I think that's what hooked people originally too, was the visuals of Star Wars, and that's kind of what got me. So then when I see the new trilogy, after like finally not liking the prequels, the new trilogy made me question if I actually like Star Wars or not. So I kind of have a mixed relationship with the stories and not, but the prequels for me kind of held up better than the new stuff.
All right, Eric, your take on the prequels in Star Wars.
Okay. Before I start, just to give people an idea of how I feel about the prequels, I have a friend who I've known since second grade, and we have a chat on Instagram. I am not exaggerating when I say literally almost every day our chat is filled with Star Wars prequel memes. Almost every day, any meme we see with Star Wars prequels. Because I believe that there are two camps of people who like Star Wars prequels. Either you like it, ironically, because if you watch it, if you actually sit down and watch these movies, they're pretty fucking silly. Or you like the action and the special effects, and that's fine. Like, film is a visual media. If you are attracted to the visual aspect of seeing, like, the lightsaber fights in the prequels are much better than originally Darth Vader versus Ben Kenobi. They were just meh. So I get it. I get it. Anakin versus Sobe, cool fight. And Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon. And the story has potential. I've always said that the prequels just revealed that, and I'm going to catch heat for this, George Lucas is not a good director. The original trilogy, he just had very talented actors in Carrie Fisher, who was classically trained, Harrison Ford, who is Harrison Ford, and Mark Hamill, who's fucking amazing. So he had fantastic talent. Hayden Christensen is not a bad actor. He just had really bad direction. He's not a great actor. He's a good actor. He's okay. He's what TNA wants to be. He's okay. So I'm in the camp of irony. I look at it and I'm like, man, this is silly. But like Knox said, the new trilogy, it was so bad. It made me. I'd much rather watch the prequels and laugh at it than watch the new trilogy and be angry. Fucking Last Jedi is my most hated movie. I actually get I don't get mad at movies because I'm the one making the choice to watch it. But I actually get mad when I think of The Last Jedi. I fucking wasted so much time watching that movie, and I'm mad it exists.
Same. Like, I'm sorry, Zach. So when I first seen like the new trilogy, The Force Awakens, I actually enjoyed it. I didn't really particularly like how they did Han Solo and his son, but I thought it could have been done better. But still, good opening. And I thought, man, Finn's about to be crazy. He broke, out of his freaking the mind control. He's about to be a Jedi. And then Last Jedi comes up. I'm like, and you guys know we knew each other when Last Jedi was coming out where we worked.
Yeah.
The hype for that was damn near Infinity War level, I think. Like we were talking about, like, you have to be up all night. You have to, the theater's gonna be open 24/7. And then it came out and it was trash, and we were closing early. No one was showing up. That's probably the most disappointing thing I've ever been in a theater.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball so much with those no ones, man. Especially John Boyega's character. I thought that was going to be like this big arc, and it was just like, all right, thanks for stopping by the Love Boat, Charo. Like, thanks for showing up 5 minutes in a movie. Like, it was such a drop ball, and like, I honestly, I hated Han Solo. I hated Ben Solo's kid. I hated him so much. I hated him.
Yeah.
It's bad when the actor is like mad about, like, John Boyega did not hold back how much he hated Finn's progression.
He doesn't like it. My boy Mark Hamill was pissed. I'm pretty sure Adam Driver was pissed. He doesn't want to be part of it anymore.
So my whole thing with this movie is, like, a lot of the stuff here didn't really. It was just like flat. Everything about these movies was flat. The action seemed so CGI. It was flat to me, except obviously the time I thought the pod racing was cool because it looked really cool. But everything was flat, acting wise and everything like that. And I don't give Hayden Christensen any hate at all. No matter who you are, if you're cast as Darth Vader without the helmet and a young version, no matter who you are, you're screwed. This guy's the ultimate villain until, like, these movies came out and kind of like showed the great and powerful Oz behind the curtain. You're screwed no matter who plays him. There was so much flat. Ray Park, man, I'm so glad he was doing X-Men and all these other things at the time, because boy, Darth Maul on every single bit of packaging during episode 1 was in it for 5 minutes. Cool fight, love the score, actually love how it was shot. Crap. And everything else was just so weirdly, like, I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of these prequels, man. It's from story to story to story, I'm not a fan, and it just I pretend I haven't watched these so I can still think Darth Vader is one of the baddest villains.
See, this is one reason I love animation and video games also. So a young Anakin in the Clone Wars series is amazing. I love Anakin in the Clone Wars series.
That's probably why I like him. It was amazing.
Yeah, that works. Like, he's actually, you can see that he thinks different than the Jedi. He's actually cool. And then Darth Maul's whole story arc of like surviving the fight with Obi-Wan to Rebels, where they actually have him die against Obi-Wan, works. It's just they just didn't execute well live action. It's cheesy for me.
Metachlorians, I didn't get that. I didn't like the whole like clone thing with Boba Fett's dad, all this other shit. It was so much that just kind of like, I don't want to say took a piss on the original trilogy. It was just like it just made it seem like they wanted or George wanted this trilogy to be the new definitive trilogy. Like he still had it or something. And here's a quote from Tsunami. Why did you say everyone can be a Jedi and use the Force when it's not true and we're told the opposite in every movie? Exactamundo. Okay, yes, his dad was cool, but just like storyline wise overall, I'm not a big fan of.
I blame Rian Johnson for that, man. Not a bad director, don't get me wrong. But just to go from what's his name, J.J. Abrams, his direction, to switch directors and switch back, it just wasn't a proper story.
Yeah. Also, weirdly enough, lots of racial stereotypes in those prequels.
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't know where or how they came up with that, but it got kind of weird when you look back at it.
My biggest pet peeve was when Jar Jar said in the original, "It's all good."
Oh,
so you're telling me Jar Jar has the new MC Hammer album? His "It's All Good" song? That's where it fucking came from. You tell me Jar Jar Binks has that album in a galaxy far, far away? He found that in a jukebox in Mos Eisley? What the hell? Like, oh, I hate that kind of crap.
Jeez.
All right. Those are any other like things you liked about the prequels that like an old guy like me just missed, like maybe I missed the boat on, or is there something I'm missing about the prequels?
I will say I think George Lucas again got lucky. It had a great cast, but just I think he had more people to work with than the original. Like I said, like I mentioned, like the 4 people, like Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and 3 people like who are like superstars. Had too much to work with in new ones, but thank goodness for Ewan McGregor. Thank goodness for Sir Christopher Lee. Which also, how the fuck did you get Christopher Lee for this? That's still never get how he. God, thank goodness he did. But I think everything great about the prequels came out in other media, like the cartoons and the games.
Okay. Knock, anything you want to add to the end of this discussion?
I think that's it, man. Like I think I just honestly, I think for me, I like the video games and the cartoons, and then prequels, originals.
Yeah,
I thought Rogue One was better than the new movies. I liked Rogue One.
Agreed.
I just wanted to see some cool shit, man. I wanted to see the Star Wars, the lightsaber fights. So when I see Last Jedi and you tease, you build up. It's like you built to the main event. You're about to get The Rock versus Cena. It's freaking
yes.
Kylo Ren versus Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker has to protect everyone that's in the cave. He's supposed to fight, and you tell me it's a fake fight? He's not even really there? What type of bullshit is this? I was hot.
Also, Disney is ruining lightsabers, by the way. I don't understand what the hell's going on with every new media. A lightsaber is just like a baseball bat that glows. I don't understand it.
All right. Well, that's it. Mr. Ready or Not, you got this right here. Your kids love them. And I'm with you. What do I know? The younger generations love these movies. So again, if you're not watching live, let us know why you like this, especially if you're in the younger generation. The older ones were just, oh man, they just felt like they had so much more heart than these cold prequels. And man, the new ones are just I think none of us like them. So prequels greater than the originals, and then those are greater than the Disney Plus shows, and then the new trilogy. Cool Money, you speak for a lot of the people that I'm trying to figure out right there. So the disconnect. But either way, people found some love in Star Wars. So happy 25 years, Star Wars prequels. We thank you for whatever you gave us.
Live long and prosper.
Actually, this Battlestar Galactica.
Oh man!
All right, let's get into the next thing here. We talked about Prestige. That was a good show. Last thing, anybody care? The new Superman suit. There's the S.
I think they changed the name too. They just put it as Superman now.
Yeah.
Don't know what they're doing.
Clean out your lint dryer.
Yeah, there's the S. The one part of the Superman's costume we know has to be there.
Yeah. It is the Kingdom Come S, so there it is. Knock, here you go. Last thing before we get into what's coming up on the channel.
All right. Eric, let me start with you real quick. Did you see any of this yet?
So when I was busy yesterday helping someone, it was on the background, and I have thoughts about it, but you're the expert.
You put that on me. I'm the expert.
You're the one. I only saw like episode 4 till whatever the last one is.
Okay, so we haven't finished it yet. We're on I think we have 2 more episodes to go out of the 8. What can I say? I come into this, I was so hyped for the show. I thought this was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I was very, I was on the moon. I was on the moon. And then I watched episode 1. And then, certain characters seem like they're just walking through the lines, not really wanting to be there, phoning it in. I'm looking at Gran. She got to read one of the most iconic lines in the entire show, which is the opening credits, when the Fire Nation attacks. She read those lines. And I thought she could have been more bored reading those lines. I thought there's some corners they might have cut a little bit with just the introduction of Aang to Katara and Sokka. And then some of the stuff was cheesy. I thought some of the line delivery was very cheesy. So I was immediately, I think episode 1 is a little hard to get into if you might be a newer fan or an original fan of the show. There were some bright spots. I think it's well cast. I think Aang is overacting. I think he's doing a lot of weird stuff with his face. It doesn't really seem natural. But besides that, the show, I think I need a season 2. They're really leaning into Zuko and Iroh's connection. I really like how they're building them up as it's kind of like his real father figure over his dad. His uncle Iroh was really there for him when he needed him most. So I love what they're doing there. The person they casted for June, amazing. Suki, amazing casting. There's a new character as well, part of the Kyoshi Warrior storyline. They also merged a lot of stories, so you'll see the Omashu stuff with King Boomy merge with Jet, merge with Aang's visit to the Northern Air Temple with the new Airbenders. So it's a lot of stuff that got mixed. I thought they did it, fairly well. Some of it seemed like just a little too rushed, but it's only 8 episodes. They kept some good stuff. The Cabbage Man is there, screaming for his cabbages.
It's the actual Cabbage Man. I'll give him props for that.
Yeah. So they really kept a lot of good stuff in there. Again, I think it deserves season 2 because Sokka's on point. Sokka was carrying the first 2 or 3 episodes. The guy playing him is amazing. What else can I say here? I think it really starts hitting its stride. Maybe episode 3 to 6, I think really hit their stride. 6 might have been a little slower. So maybe 3, 4, and 5 were I thought really strong and really showed okay, they got something here. It's obviously night and day, miles ahead of the movie that was absolute trash, dog shit, if you will. I recommend it, I think. I don't know if you'll be able to get into it, Zach. I don't think it's that good. But if you're an original fan or you know a little bit about the show and what they might be going for with certain things, I think you might enjoy it.
I feel like an asshole saying this, but I think this show made me realize I hate live action adaptations.
Yeah, and I can't blame you for that.
Because here's the thing, I give it so the reason I like the Cowboy Bebop live adaptation is because when I watch it, knowing that they changed some things that happen like a little bit, it seems like a really fun adaptation. Like I have fun watching it. It's kind of silly. Like it doesn't take itself seriously. And I'm like, this is just a fun, fuck it, why not? We have money, let's make a live action that's silly. You haven't finished the series yet, so I'm not gonna spoil anything. Okay. Because I think I saw from
I'm not mad at spoilers. I kind of already know what was gonna happen.
Yeah, you kind of know what's gonna happen. So I saw from the Blue Spirit episode to the end. I don't like that they changed some of the rules of how the show works. Like, for example, Avatar State, apparently it's like Kyoshi takes over Aang's body to do the Avatar State. And then the idea and then this is a minor spoiler. In the original show, when Aang goes into the Avatar State in the Northern Water Temple, the idea is that it's him and he's drawing strength from the ocean spirit and like does it.
Yeah.
In what happens in the show, the ocean spirit takes him over and is mad because the moon spirit gets killed. I'm sorry for anyone who hasn't seen either one. I just spoiled. But I don't like that. If you're gonna do an adaptation, I don't like when you change the source material.
I agree.
And I think overall, I don't like live adaptations because I think I've said it before on the channel. I think it sends a message that live action is far superior to animation because you never see someone say, hey, let's do an animation version of a live action project unless it's a budgetary issue. So I say go watch the original if you are interested in this. But maybe this is good. Maybe people will be more interested in Avatar as a whole.
Yeah, I'm definitely still recommending the original. There's no question that one was a masterpiece. It's still like, a bit catered towards kids. It might be a little hard to get into now if you haven't seen it before, but still amazing stuff. I'm glad you brought that up because there was some changes actually, besides them merging storylines. So the original plan when Aang and the group were going to go to Northern Word Tribe was so they can learn.
Right.
This time he gets told that there's going to be an attack. So he's going to go to Northern Word Tribe to prevent that attack or to help them. I don't like that change. I don't get why his avatar state can now predict the future. That doesn't really make sense to me.
Right.
So that was a change I didn't like. And they're also in the original one, Roku, since that was the avatar before Aang, was kind of like his guide, his mentor. This one, at first it was kind of like Kyoshi, and it's not really.
It seems like
it's every avatar. Now we're going through the avatars, yeah. Instead of just being like one guy, and then you learn from the other ones as you go.
Yeah.
Didn't particularly like that. They did take something from Legend of Korra. So there's a part where they do go to the spirit world. I don't remember that original one in season 1 where like a village being rampant by a spirit.
And then Sokka ends up in the spirit world.
Yeah. So they kind of took something from Legend of Korra as well to go with this one, to merge it with that one. I thought was kind of cool. I kind of like that. Kind of put in a little justification to Legend of Korra. The other thing they changed I didn't like what you said, I didn't like how Kyoshi took over the body. It was cool visually. Like, I think it actually kind of works. But just storyline wise, I thought it kind of makes Aang seem a little weak. Like, it's not him doing anything. It's just his avatar state doing it. Or not even his avatar state doing it, because it's not him. It's just someone taking over his body. Like, they're just kind of using him. I don't also...
So go ahead.
The last thing, I also don't like that, like, through, like, the first... I think I'm on episode 6. He has not attempted to learn any waterbending. In the original, Katara and them are learning together, and like she's showing him some stuff. She's his trainer, and he's not attempted once to. He's still very reluctant. He's way too reluctant to do anything to train or get better. He hasn't done that not one time. I don't think he's really fought in the first few episodes, so I'm not really liking that too much.
Yeah, that's one of the changes I can't get with. And there's actually one scene that just changes the meaning entirely, which I guess I should have expected this because the creators, they've been doing podcasts and stuff, and they've been talking I think they've been trying to get attention. So they're like, hey, did you guys know? Like, it's like Harry Potter, like J.K. Rowling, which is like, here's something about Hogwarts you didn't know. Yeah. It's something random that nobody fucking cares about. But when you change the meaning of things, it's just too radical for me. Like the scene with Zuko and Aang when they escape as the blue spirit like breaks them out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with how the original did it. They were like Aang is trying to talk to Zuko, and Zuko does not respond, but he gets angry, like attacks. They connect too much for me in this new show already. Like Zuko should not be connecting and being so empathetic at this point.
That's another. I'm glad you brought that up too. They're kind of, whoever's writing this, they're not really doing that good. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of like they're writing the show as if they know what's going to happen. So they're kind of like putting little things. They're not foreshadowing. They're just kind of like telling us, we know this is going to happen.
Right.
I don't know. It's a little too much of a broad stroke of like you said, they shouldn't be connected that much well. There's something else. Zuko seems way too like his whole thing in the original was like his turn, his character progression. This one I feel like it's just he's not halfway. He's more on the good side as opposed to being in between.
Yeah.
There's somebody else. They nerfed the fuck out of my boy Sokka. When Sokka and Suki were going at it, Suki's dissing him, saying all this type of stuff. He had no comebacks. Sokka was quick-witted. He has all the comebacks, and I feel like they kind of took that away. And he wasn't so like he got his ass beat in this one, and he wasn't like saying no jokes. He wasn't like sticking up for himself or like I just felt like they could have did a little better there.
Right.
But the guy's killing it.
I'm saying I agree with Phantom X to wrap it up. It's okay at best. Which you know what? For TNA, that's good. So I'll say we should all aim to be okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we sold that for you, Zach.
What's that?
I don't know if we sold that one for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was doing my taxes while you guys were talking. Fucking Elimination Chamber in Perth is starting in 5 minutes.
Oh gosh.
All right, so it's okay.
Yeah. If I was to give it a grade out of 10, I'll do like a 7, a generous 7 right now. I do want a season 2 though. I'm hoping for that.
Almost positive you're getting it.
Yeah. Oh, and that reminds me. Yeah, I'm almost positive we're getting it because it's killing it in the views. They put like the characters as like your profiles. You want to make a profile, and the guy, one of the showrunners, is now the president of Netflix. So I think he's like the new president. So I think we're getting season 2 like confirmed.
Oh my God, what a way to get greenlit.
Oh man, I mean we're getting the animated movie next year, so I'm excited for that as well.
Yeah.
With the original, like not Legend Core, like the original people.
Right.
So we'll see.
All right. Avatar, The Last Airbender, #1 show in the world. #1 on Netflix. Coming to the channel is a tier list. We break it down. Which of these streaming systems is worth your hard-earned money? Which ones should you password share? Which ones can you live without? Eric, how'd you like doing this tier list?
I was about to say it was great, but I just remembered that we put TNA way too fucking high.
Oh man, people are gonna have a field day with us.
Yeah, that's coming to the station pretty soon. Also, random tidbits I just found while you guys are talking. Okada's probably coming the next Dynamite as the follow to Revolution, and your boy Hammer will be in TNA the next TV tapings.
Yes, sir. We get the real Hogan.
You know what? That's fine. That's gonna help us make TNA okay. We can't get the real thing. We'll get the next thing.
All right, that's coming to the channel very soon, so be on the lookout and definitely leave comments on what you have, what you subscribe to, if you think it's worth the money and why. Maybe you feel something that we missed in one of the things, but we're excited. And as of now, I'm officially drafted to Fridays. I will not be on the Wednesday show for 3 weeks. You can find me. Nick Aldis got me, Eric. I'm sorry. That GM, that's the one that got me. A build and a smile like that, I can't say no. So I'll be on Fridays. You can catch me these 3. I'll be doing Rampage. Then on the 15th, I'll be doing a day stream of a game. I'm not sure yet. Most likely it'll be a classic NES game. And then another Rampage on the 22nd. Then I'll be off and back with these 2 for the WrestleMania go-home week.
We're gonna miss you, and I hate to bury the lead, but that is the greatest line that's ever been said on this channel, Mr. All Power.
All right, but make sure you comment, make sure you interact with these 2. I cannot wait to just like watch the show. I like just listening to you guys, so I'm very excited to just watch the show for 3 weeks.
Absolutely gonna miss you.
For sure, man. We're definitely gonna hold it down. Me and Eric gonna figure out a plan for you guys. So don't you guys in the chat worry. We'll hold it down for Zach while he's on his tour.
Yeah, my tour. Well, I'm in my apartment. We're gonna be doing something very cool in Hollywood. I've been wanting to do it for like 5 or 6 years now. I actually get to do it. So thank you guys for doing the show and help me. And I'm fucking very excited to report back how it goes each week.
Yeah. And you know what? All my floppers, we can make sure you're there on Fridays. We'll flop bomb Zach's streams.
There you go. I like it fishy. And he just got us nice and demonetized. That is it. Any last words before we head out for the night?
Keep an eye out for those tier lists, man. They'll be coming. We got one up for you guys. It's recorded. It's edited. It's getting put together. So keep an eye out for that one. Support it, like it, and yeah, we got more videos coming for you guys. Of course, me and Eric are gonna be cooking some stuff up. Really appreciate all the support, man. We're so close to 3K subs, man. I can't say that enough.
So close.
You guys, man. I love it. I love it. Even all the floppers in there, whether you're a flopper, whether you're a popper or a rampager, we really appreciate you all.
Eric, any last words, buddy?
I mean, if you guys aren't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button because you're missing out. You want to, if you're just creeping, watching this without subbing like a little perv, don't you want to join the chat? Don't you want to be flopping in the chat with Mr. All Power, with Phantom X? Also, actually, real quick before I forget, my first voice acting video project thing is out on YouTube. The channel just uploaded it. So in the comments, I will put the link on. Go support them and hear me do it's a death battle inspired type video. And I get to be the Beyond there. So check that out. I will put the video in the comments.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, that is it for us. We're all doing some big things. Why? Because the life owned way. Do big things yourself. Comment. Let us know what you're up to. Let us know what you dig. Let us know what you don't dig. The shadier, the better. We love it, and we love you. Thanks for holding it down for us here in the chats. Have a great week. Be excellent to each other, and we'll see you next time. I'm leaving this up. If you want to say anything about Cena now while this is up, go ahead, Eric.
All right, here's the thing. When you hustle and loyalty and respect as much as John Cena, you get wet. You get wet.
By the time I come back, I want one of you to find the joke that is in the intro.
Oh,
leave comments if you found it.
I missed it.
Take care, everyone. Have a good one.
Don't forget that.